Alright, so today we have a message you need to hear. We have pile 1 with the Ace of Hearts and a little sloth that has the heart. No! I hate, like, having long nails sometimes. We have the Ace of Clubs with a little porcupine guy. We have the Ace of Spades with this cactus. And then we have the Ace of Diamonds with these 2 cacti. Alright, so I'll just give you a minute to think about it and then we will start. Alright, so we have the 5 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, a lot of Wands, maybe a lot of anger. The 2 of Wands, holy cow. Okay, the 9 of Swords, and then the 6 of Cups. So right off the bat, I see conflict. There might have been some kind of argument, and then immediately after, I see delayed plans. Like you have something in your mind that you wanna like get going, but you can't. Like something kind of got effed up, basically. And then the next 2 cards are kind of the same thing. It's literally the 7 of Wands, which is like you feel like everyone's attacking you. You feel kind of like on the defense. And then right after that, the 2 of Wands in reverse is like you made plans, but you kind of have to go back to the drawing board. I get the feeling like you're with the 8 of Wands in reverse. I got this feeling of like wanting to get away from something, from like a situation, but you can't. Yeah, and there's a lot of Wands here, so I'm guessing there's a lot of anger. And with the reversals, that can be internal, but I believe it's mostly happening externally, just because the 5 of Wands and the 7 of Wands are typically external forces. It's usually other people kind of like attacking you. You might have even felt blindsided by this attack, because a lot of the times the 7 of Wands is depicted as like a guy with one shoe on and one shoe off. So it's kind of like this idea that at the last minute you had to like scurry to defend yourself. So you may be feeling that way. But the way it's depicted here is kind of chill, honestly. Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying not to get it like in the light. She looks like she's chilling. She's vibing over here, sitting with her 2 guard dogs. So I feel like in your mind with the 9 of Swords in reverse here, you probably think it's a lot worse than it actually is. I feel like your spiritual team they're vibing. They're chilling. They're not worried about it. But you are like the 9 of Swords in reverse is like worst nightmares kind of thing. But the 9 of Swords in reverse also reminds us that even if you feel they're kind of asking you to like take a step back and really look at the situation. Like it's probably not as bad as you think it is. Yeah. That's a pretty quick message, especially with the Wands. I mean, that's quick energy as it is, so maybe this happened really quickly. Again, the idea of like having to scurry because you feel like you feel attacked at the last minute. This might even be like a business partnership type of thing, just because I don't know, there's a lot of planning. Like there's some kind of something that you were supposed to do and it just didn't work out, and now you're having conflicts about it. Or maybe the conflict with the other person is causing your plans not to work out. So I don't know, I got this very specific situation in my mind. Kind of reminds me of like when people don't sign contracts, they just kind of do like verbal contracts, which are still legally binding in certain places, but if there's no proof, if there's no witnesses, if there's not a way to document what happened, there's no way to prove that someone agreed to something. So I got this like very specific scenario of like a person like trying to move out into someone else's home, but then like the person, like the landlord, is kind of like, no, never mind, or like, oh, I'm gonna rent it to my cousin instead, you know. And now you're like, fuck, like I was supposed to move out, but now I don't have anywhere to go. And so I'm not saying that's your situation. It's just like this idea of like you had everything planned and then everything just like got stalled because of a conflict. Or maybe the stall is causing your conflict. All right, sing your own song. There is always enough. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot to address the Six of Cups, which is kind of like an odd, random thing to throw in there. Six of Cups tends to be, let's see if we can get a clarifier for that. Like nostalgia, reminiscing, the past, in a happy way. So maybe you're having conflict with someone you know from your past. It's like the only non-aggressive card in your entire spread. But it's the last card, Time to Heal. Interesting. Okay. Alrighty. Let me move some cards around. Okay, so we have the Koi Fish Spirit, which says there is always enough. Yeah, so right now you might be feeling like you're SOL, but just know that, I mean, it's kind of like a cycle. Like sometimes you do have to go back to the drawing board and then you fix it and then it gets resolved and you can move on. It's not like the end of the world, which the Nine of Swords in reverse reminds us of. That's so weird, I've never seen that. Like if you look here, you can kind of see like a face. It's like the two eyes. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like two red eyes and like a jaw with sharp teeth. Cool. Sorry, I've never noticed that before. But yeah, look at how terrified she looks of it. But it's like smoke. Like she's actually physical and this is like, it's, I don't want to I hate saying it's all in your head because that sounds gaslighty, but I think you're catching the vibe. You know, it's not as big of a deal as either this person blew it up to be or either like how you feel it is. I'm just gonna ask for some clarifications to see like if I can get like specifics on what exactly this is talking about. Because I don't see like a relationship, I don't see a project, I just see like a situation that got stalled. But yeah, the Koi Fish Spirit is reminding you that there's always enough. Just like, you'll get over this soon, basically. Okay, I see possibly a man being involved. And when it's a King of Cups, it's either like a romantic partner or like a father figure. Someone very close to you, not like an authority figure. Which would make sense with the Six of Cups. Maybe you guys are having issues with your fathers or your partners. We have some of you might have entered a business relationship with someone you care about, and now you're finding out like Oh, now I understand why they say don't enter business or like some kind of money situation. Oof, that's not fun. Like maybe somebody owes somebody else money. Maybe you guys are gonna start a business and you were supposed to take care of something and this other person was supposed to take care of something and maybe they're not holding up on their side of the deal. Yeah, and it was someone you trusted because it's the King of Hearts. And we have the Six of Cups here, which is like someone from your past, or like maybe you guys have history. So you're like, wow, I can really trust this person. I really trust to go into business with them, or I really trust that they'll pay me back. And now it's like not happening, and it's kind of causing a lot of conflict. There's always enough. So maybe it is a money situation. A lot of you are like, shit, I really need that money back. Or, you know, if it's a business situation, maybe you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? The koi fish spirit is here to remind you that you don't need whatever it is this person was gonna provide. Like, if you need to cut them out, but basically you can always find what you need somewhere else. Please sign contracts. Please sign contracts. You don't need a lawyer. You just need a piece of paper that documents like exactly what the person says they're gonna do, what they're responsible for, and like a date by when they're supposed to do it. And then you just need both people to sign it and then to keep the copies. But literally, like, I don't know how people, I don't care how much you trust the person, like, sign a fucking contract. Sing your own song. Yeah, so that gives me the vibe of like, that's also funny that it has a little king crown here, and then you have the King of Cups here. I feel like they're kind of asking you to get away from this person, like to just go like off on your own, basically. That sucks. And time to heal, because this feels like a betrayal. It's not just like a, oh, this bitch owes me money. It's like, whoa, I really trusted you not to fuck me over, and here we are. So the thing about snakes, you know, their skin, they shed it, they regrow it, but I think it's time for you to like shed your skin to get away from this King of Hearts archetype person here. That really sucks that they're a King of Hearts too, because that shows it was someone you really trusted or cared about. And the King of Hearts is the only one in the playing cards. They call him like the Suicide King, basically, because he has his sword to his head. Like, if you look up other depictions of the King of Hearts. Yeah, so maybe this person's kind of like a self-sabotager. So even if they really wanted to pay you back, like, I feel like they would just indulge in something that, I don't know, like, even if they had the best of intentions, they strike me as like someone self-sabotaging. So for the Clo cards, or the Clow cards, I feel like I'm always changing the pronunciation of it, but it really doesn't matter. Alrighty, so we have the silence. So this is just a time for self-reflection. If you're going back and forth with this person, they're telling you, cut that out, stop talking, and they're asking you to reflect on how to fix the situation, because again, the Two of Wands in reverse is about going back to the drawing board. So they're just asking you, like, just stop any negativity. Anyone who's coming at you, like, don't respond to them. Block numbers if you have to block them, but just go silent. And then they're telling you to to reflect, to really think about it. And then we have the, like, you can see the only blue thing on this entire card is like her third eye. So just kind of using your intuition a lot too, if you're feeling a little lost. The Libra is about fairness. It's kind of like the Justice card. Like, this person might see justice for the things they've done, like their karma is gonna come, but it's also about balancing things out. Let me see if there's any additional messages. It's been a while since I've used the Clo cards. I know the return is about a second chance at something. Where is it? Balance, yep, fairness and judgment. Okay, so I covered all of it. Let's go. Yeah, so I guess there's no more additional messages there. Just that things will come into balance soon for you. If you're feeling a little like out of your element, you're definitely feeling out of your element. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of like fire wand energy. It's just a lot of aggression. But things, if they're not in, like, I mean, obviously they're not in balance, but if you want to quicken the process, I think like meditating, reflecting can help you a lot with that. Like to fix things internally will help the external things come into balance quicker. We have the return, which is basically the return of a second chance. It's the card that tells you to never give up, which is wholesome. So right now, you're feeling like giving up, you're feeling betrayed, you're feeling really pissed off, but the return is just telling you like it's never over. And even with the 2 of Wands in reverse and the 8 of Wands in reverse, you know, they didn't tell you stop it. They didn't tell you cut it out. They just said go back to the drawing board. They just said right now is not the time. So the return is telling you that like that time will come soon, but it is like the last card. So just consider that like there's some work to do before you can move on. Have a moment's regret. Oh, nostalgia. So again with the 6 of Cups, idealizing the past, fearing you've made a mistake. Yeah, so you feel like you trusted this person and then now you're like, shit, that was probably not the best idea. Let me see if I can get the lighting any brighter. Maybe it's just the brightness on my phone, but it looks really dark right now. Okay. Yeah, so you trusted this person because they were from your past and now you're regretting it. And it's possible you idealize the past. Maybe you're like, wow, this person's really close to me. Like, yeah, I trust them. And now you're looking back on it and it's like 20/20 vision. You're like, actually, this person's kind of an asshole. We have it's always tea time, eternity, endless moments, repetition. Again, your chance is going to come back around. I feel like a lot of you feel like you ran out of time or like this was the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment. And now you're like, now it's gone, but that's not true. Endless moments, repetition. It's always tea time. You can fucking start another business anytime. You can go into this partnership any other time. You don't need this person, and this moment just happened to not be it. And that does not mean that it wasn't meant for you. Nonsense. It's time to stop talking nonsense. Yeah, so again with the 9 of Swords in reverse, we have these ideas, and not that the situation wasn't a big deal, but I feel like it's been blown out of proportion, especially in your own mind. And so they're just kind of telling you like come back into balance and try to like actually see the situation as it is, and know that it's not over. It's not the end. And hopefully you learned a lesson, right? There's a quote that says nothing is a waste of time if you learn something from it. So just learn from it, meditate on what to do next, and yeah, I hope that was helpful. Just let me know, but you totally don't have to know whatever comments anyway. So subscribe if you're interested. I have other kinds of witchy content. Yeah, that's pretty much it. See you in the next one. I forgot to do this in the last one, so we're just gonna do it first. We have the 8, a 3, and then a 5. That is so weird. I totally... What the heck? Okay, yeah. I feel like I got that number earlier. Anyway, for the porcupine group, number 2. So 8:35, we're gonna see what message you got. 835, keep the flow going. As one area of your life seems to be growing, check in on a stagnant area that is yet to evolve. What can you do today to recalibrate your life so that you create balance throughout? Alrighty. I'm trying to grab the tarot cards right now. So let's see what you guys got. One, two. Not a sideways card. Oh my gosh. Okay. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe there's a lot of wishy-washy energy here, especially with the angel number message we got about recalibrating and balancing. Because you keep getting sideways cards. And you can, there is a way where you can read sideways cards. It basically is like, it basically means the energy can go either way, but I don't read sideways cards. I feel like it complicates things when it doesn't need to. I guess that's how some people feel about reversals, but yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, maybe there's a lot of wishy-washy energy here, or like you go back and forth a lot, or maybe there's a lot of like feelings of uncertainty. With the moon in reverse, I feel like there's a lot of fear. Like dark secrets. Let's see. We have the hangman in reverse, which is like waiting. Not even waiting. I would say like avoiding something that you know is supposed to happen soon. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. That can be like spiritual poverty, like you feel kind of sad and like you don't want to believe in things, but let's keep going. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Fun. Okay. All right. Let me pull these cards out. I feel like I got a really specific message, but I don't know. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go with it. Look at, okay, these cards all fell out, and I never take them when they, but look at, they're all court cards, and I was like, okay, well, if I don't take these two, I'll take these two at least. If I don't take these, I'll take these, and it's just more court cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the message that I got initially, and this is a very, very specific message. So if it's not resonating, pick another pile, and if that doesn't resonate either, maybe this just wasn't the reading for you. But holy shit. Okay. I feel like someone in your family wronged you or did some kind of injustice to you. And I feel like their reckoning is coming. It's kind of like a dark, like, family secret, kind of. That's what I'm getting, because with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and the Moon in reverse, it's like kind of like dark secrets, like really nasty, the ugly side of either finance or like family, or even like the human psyche. Whatever this person did to you might have sent you into that dark side of, you know, your mind. Yeah, and I just see that their justice is coming. But there's like a delay here. And with the Hangman in reverse, I don't know if like, there could be some of you that like didn't want this to come up, like you didn't want the attention it was bringing, you're kind of just hoping to forget it. And yeah, like the universe is not letting it go on your behalf. And some of you, I think your family is trying to like shove shit under the rug, and it's not gonna happen. But yeah, I just see you like in a really dark place right now with the Five of Pentacles in reverse and the Moon in reverse. There's just like a lot of internal turmoil, chaos. I feel like this individual, especially, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. You got like all these, I'm gonna try to flip them around so you can actually see them in view. It's literally like 2 kings, a jack, and 3 queens. Or, yes. And then the Nine of Swords is tears. It's betrayal, it's fears, it's something dark, it's something that happens against your will. So I mean, I don't want to get too dark on here, but I feel like for some of you it might have been like SA or, you know, some kind of abuse. And I feel like it's coming to the surface because this person's like having their reckoning moments. They're gonna get what's coming to them. And I feel like people are trying to shove it under the rug. Like your family is kind of like protecting the abuser. And wow, that is like one of the most specific messages I've ever gotten for a general reading. I almost, like, when I got it in my head, I was like, I'm not gonna talk about that. That's so specific. But then, like, all these freaking cards came out. I'm like, yeah. Because what it means when you receive a lot of court cards is that you're listening to other people too much, or, like, the people around you are, like, influencing you in an unhealthy way. And so I just feel like your family is kind of like, no, like, don't talk about it. And so, like, you have fears about it, but no, like, fucking talk about it. Like, this person deserves their reckoning, basically. And it's gonna happen because you have a court card. Not a court card, I'm sorry. A major arcana card for justice. And you have the Hanged Man in reverse, which means whether you want it or not, it's gonna happen. So stop resisting it. And maybe that's a message for you, but for some of you, that's a message for your family members who probably won't care to hear this. Like, whether they want it or not, it's gonna happen. And with the Ace of Wands in reverse too, there's like this delay of like people trying to cover this up, and it's just, it's gonna happen. Alrighty, let's see what the animal spirits have to say for you. Oh my god, that was so heavy, I'm sorry. Before I accidentally run this card over with my chair. The Scarab Beetle. Okay, magic works through you. Let's go. I feel like whether you're a witch or not, I feel like maybe you guys you're really powerful. Like, you manifest things easily. So it can even be something as simple as like, wow, you thought about pizza and then boom, your mom brought home pizza, your partner brought home pizza, or like, you know, you thought of something bad happening to someone and then boom, they broke their fucking leg this morning. Like, I just feel like you're very powerful whether you know it or not. And maybe this situation accidentally manifested because you were hoping something really bad would happen to this person. And here it is. Okay, we got the Cat Spirit, which is claim your independence. For some of you, maybe you need to get away from your family, if that's possible. Obviously, it's not always illegally or financially, or, you know, whatever the situation may be. It's not always an option for people. But I feel like it's time for you to get away from these toxic people, especially since they're influencing you in such a negative way. This and that are true. So I feel like there's a lot of like back and forth of like, well, it's hearsay. Like, well, we didn't, you know, we don't know what is and isn't true. And it's like, be fucking for real. I don't know. I feel like maybe the people in your family aren't necessarily trying. I mean, that's still fucked up, right? But I feel like a lot of them aren't trying to invalidate you. I just feel like a lot of them are like, well, we really trust this other person. And well, we just don't know, which is kind of, it's so shitty. But yeah, that's the vibe I'm picking up on. Like, They don't know who to believe, basically. We have impossible things. Working through disbelief. Yeah, so I think that's like your family. Like, they don't want to believe this happened. Imaginative leaps, fresh perspective. So with the imaginative leaps, I got this like message of like, for some of you, it happened to you as a child. And so now they're kind of like, well, how can we trust, you know, the memory of a kid, which is bullshit. But yeah, I just feel like they're not believing you. They're struggling to believe you. Some of you are like, some of them are straight up invalidating or calling you a liar. And it sucks because sometimes they're not straight up calling you a liar, right? Sometimes they'll just say something passive aggressive like, well, they wouldn't do that. And it's like, so you're essentially calling me a liar because I'm sitting here and telling you that they did do that. So I feel like you guys are feeling very invalidated right now. You're feeling like people don't trust you or don't listen to you. Just very sad. Trust yourself. Yeah, so don't let them gaslight you. Follow your own good advice. Again, some of you know that you have to separate and cut these people out. Yeah, know what is best for you. I think a lot of you have issues drawing boundaries, especially when it comes to people who are supposed to be loving to you, who are supposed to be close to you. Yeah, just trust yourself. Excuse me, I feel like right now you have some fears about, excuse me, well, what if I do this and then this happens, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, just trust your intuition. Don't listen to what they're saying. And don't assume the worst if you do choose to get away from these people. And then the next card is forget who you are. Conditioning falls away. Yeah, so for a lot of you, you've been conditioned to just kind of like, you know, again, shove it under the rug, to just kind of keep quiet, to just kind of act like nothing happened, to save face for whatever reason. Yeah, and then memory no longer defines you. So I just feel like this happened in the past, but it's time's up, you know what I mean? Like, this person's getting called out. And so are your family members, like, in a way, right? Because now you're seeing who actually believes you, who actually has your back when it really comes down to it. And now you can see who's a fake ass bitch. And they're just telling you like your past no longer defines you. And you can get away from that. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, I'm so sorry, pile number 2. The maze. Just feeling lost right now. And you're scared to take turns, right? Like, I mean, if you're in a maze, you're like, what if I go down this road and then it's a dead end? Like, that's the energy I'm picking up here. Like, you're scared to make any moves. You're kind of like in a, I guess like a standstill, like a stalemate. Like, you don't want to do anything because you're scared it's gonna be the wrong move. But they're telling you to trust yourself. The bubbles is a clean start, so that's good. They're encouraging you to get away from them if you totally can. Wow, this is really heavy. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah. The bubbles. Again, like, and sleep. So sleep is to sleep on it. Right now you're feeling like you have to make a lot of heavy decisions. You might feel, I'm feeling like my shoulders are suddenly really tense. So like, you guys are, I feel like your body internalizes your trauma, your sadness. You know, if you can afford it, like, go to a masseuse or something. Like, or do one of those like yoga videos that like deliberately seek out to undo the trauma. Like, to, you know, your body does store trauma, so if you can find one of those videos that like helps weed it out, that would probably be helpful to you. But ultimately, like, to sleep it off, don't push it away, you know, thinking it'll go away. They're telling you to address it, but don't feel pressure, if that makes sense. Because with the Hangman in reverse, it's like, it's gonna happen whether you want it to happen or not. Like, this person, like, you know, in Spanish, it's like, vamos a sacar la mugre, which is like, we're gonna get all the fucking dirt out. Again, with the bubbles, like, clean start. But it's not in a pressure way. Like, it's not in a way that's gonna make you uncomfortable. It's not like, I don't feel that it's gonna happen to you in a way where you feel unprepared. They're just telling you to, like, breathe, to sleep on it, and to really think about. And again, there's only some of them that have, like, the third eye. I don't know if you can see it. So that's another one of just, like, trusting your intuition. I'm trying to look at the decks I got here. I think that's the end of your message. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's awful. Yeah, fuck that person. And, you know, all the other people that are invalidating you. That's horrible, I'm sorry. But I hope you found this message helpful. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have other witchy oh, I feel douchey being like, well, anyways, subscribe and hit the notification bell after, like, something so traumatic. But anyway, yeah, I hope this gets resolved soon. I'm so sorry. Yeah, see you in the next one. Hello, pile number 3 with a little, cactus and the Ace of Spades. Oh no, not the song in my head. Ace of Spades. Bruh. I'm gonna not take these. These were, yeah. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Sorry. The energy from the last pile was just so freaking heavy. I feel like my own energy is a little scattered. Should be fine. Okay. So the Page of Wands. Yay, that's kind of the energy I was getting. Feels peppy here. I hope it's not automatically followed by the Tower, the Devil, the Knight of Swords. The Queen of Swords in reverse. Interesting. What way were you trying to fall out? Alright, the Magician. Cool, cool. I was getting High Priestess vibes too, so it doesn't surprise me you got the Magician. Just kind of like a counterpart to the High Priestess. Okay, alright. And it keeps sliding sideways. The tower. No! I literally specifically asked you not to give me the Tower. But I still get, like, a good vibe from it. I don't get, like, the Tower is evil. Please don't be followed by the Devil. What are you? The Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. Literally, I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, I'm not getting a bad vibe from this at all. Like, the yellow that I see in the background isn't, like, a sky of fire to me. It's, like, sunshine. Alrighty. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't land sideways. What the hell? Thank you. 6 of Cups in reverse. Thank you. Okay, so you guys had a lot of sideways energy, which is kind of like wishy-washy, back and forth energy. Which, I mean, the first 2 cards kind of say it as it is, because the first card, fuck, hold on. Sorry, I was recording vertically and I was like, I can edit it, but it's gonna be a pain. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, which is kind of like hyperactive, peppy, adventurous, inspirational, so many ideas, so much happening. And then it's immediately followed by the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is kind of like angry, bitchy, cold, like don't fuck with me kind of energy. Even like here you have like a little red creature kind of guy. He looks happy. And here you have, it just reminds me of like Harley Quinn's hyenas, or like the hyenas from freaking, what, Lion King? Not that these look like hyenas to me, but just the vibe. It's like, it's different. I don't know where the switch up is coming from, but we'll see. The Magician. I feel like you guys are really good at manifesting what you want. Even the page kind of looks like a magician. Look at him. He has like a rod, and then just like the sky is like filled with the light from that. I feel like you guys are giving me magician vibes, giving me like, again, I even said the High Priestess, which would be like a master witch, right? I feel like you guys are really good at manifesting. Alrighty. Two of Clubs. The Tower. Again, I feel like this is a good Tower moment. It's kind of like, it's time for a change and you know it's time for a change. And you're just kind of like, fuck it. You're kind of, I don't know, like you don't, I think with the Queen of Swords in reverse, a lot of the times it can come off as like I said, and I don't like saying bitchy because I feel like the word is kind of sexist, honestly. It never gets used on a guy, and when it does, it's to compare him to a girl. And also, gender doesn't exist, but you know what I'm saying. Alrighty. Well, it does exist. It's just a spectrum, but whatever. Yeah, I feel like you are like in your, they would call it villain era, but I don't think it's like evil. I think it's like, especially since I thought of like the hyenas who are the villains of the Lion King story. And so is Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's a villain. You're in your villain era. Let's go. All right. And it's not even like you're not trying to be mean to anyone. You're just like, fuck it. And that's kind of the energy of the Ace of Swords too. It's like, sword energy is very much like, when it comes off in reverse to people, it can be like cold, like calculating, like you cut people off and you don't care. And maybe that's what you need. I feel like that's what you need. It's not like to be mean, it's not to hurt anybody, it's just kind of like you've played nice and now you're done. Now you're like, okay. I feel like your boundaries are just they're at a new level now, and not everybody can respect them, and not everybody can meet your new standards, and that sucks, you know? But tough for you, you know? Like, I feel like you are just setting higher standards for yourself, and people are angry about that. Yeah, they're just kind of like I got like money moves. Yeah, I just feel like you're being very, it's not to be mean, but it's like people are taking it the wrong way is what I'm getting. Interesting. And I feel like there's a specific person for some of you, maybe even for all of you, that really wants to see you. Okay. There's like a lot going on here. So the Two of Clubs is kind of like someone who's trying to help you. Maybe they're coming across as like, I'm trying to help you, I'm trying to be helpful. But it can also mean an obstacle to success. So I feel like maybe you're trying to get into this like villain era energy, but this person, maybe from your past, yeah, especially with the Six of Cups in reverse, I feel like a person from your past is holding you back. Or they're making you feel bad about it, or trying to make you feel bad about it. And I feel like they just don't fit into your your image. They don't fit into what you want and what you need, what your goals are, what you want to manifest. But you care about them and they care about you. You have the King of Hearts, which is someone you trust and love. And then you have the Six of Cups, but it's in reverse. So it's like a lot of you might be romanticizing your past. I kind of feel like definitely romanticizing your past. Like this person just doesn't meet your new standards anymore and it's time to cut them out and you don't want to. Oof. Okay, for some of you, this is a very specific, very dark message, but we have the King of Hearts, and in the playing card decks, it's the only king that's, like, if you look up the image of the King of Swords, he's the only king that has the sword to his head, so they call him the, trigger warning, the Suicide King. Yeah, so for a lot of you, again, trigger warning, suicide, a lot of you, not a lot of you, for some of you, this is a very specific message. I'm just gonna get it out there. The person might even be threatening suicide, like, oh, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill myself, which is like fucking awful. But that can totally be a message, like you're trying to leave this person, especially with a tower moment, you know, like there's other ways to depict change. But a tower moment's like, that's kind of rough. I don't see it being rough for you, though. I feel like you are in your shit, but I don't know, this individual just... Maybe they're not that toxic. For most of you, I don't think they're that toxic. But I just feel like this person just doesn't meet your standards anymore. Like, the boundaries that you've set, this person, like, doesn't... or can't respect them, and it's just like, okay, well, you do you and I'll move on. But I feel like some of you are still emotionally attached to this person, but they're telling you to tap into the Queen of Swords energy, and the Queen of Swords in reverse energy, because it's in reverse, a lot of people want to see it as negative, but I don't think it's negative. I think it's sometimes we have to be the, you know, the villain, as I've been saying. Like, yeah, maybe this person's gonna feel bad, maybe this person's gonna, you know, take it personally, but it's like, I mean, if you're not willing to meet the standards, well, tough, you know. I really feel like you have to cut this person out, especially like the energy I'm getting, a queen, the High Priestess, you know, and this, I feel like this person might be like the Knight of Swords in reverse. It's like a knight with a High Priestess, a knight with a queen? I don't think so. Especially, I don't know. The Knight of Swords in reverse can often, it's almost like the Page of Swords in a way, in reverse. It's like they make a lot of promises, but then they don't follow through on them. All right, so we got the watery. So there's a lot of emotions involved. The shadow. The shadow work, the shadow self. And the past also. We're gonna try that one again. Okay, the glow. Okay, you keep getting two of them, so I'm just gonna take two. The glow and the wave. The glow is a good sign. That is like good luck, wishes come true. The wave is like, it's literally going with the flow. Let me refresh my memory. It's been a while since I've used the glow cards. So the shadow is the unknown, again, the shadow self, and to face your problems. So a lot of you don't want this confrontation with this person because they mean a lot to you, but it's like, I mean, it has to be done. I mean, it's unfortunate, but sometimes we just outgrow people. And this person, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they have a lot of growing up to do themselves because they're a knight. Not only are they a knight, but they're a knight in reverse. So it's like there's a lot of immaturity here. And with the Page of Wands that I got for you, I don't see that as immaturity on your part. I see that as like you coming into your own passion. You're kind of coming to life, but you're not like the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. Yeah, you're just a page. I feel like maybe you've been in a, I don't want to say a dark place, but kind of like a dull place, and you finally found like something to be passionate about, and I just feel like you have to cut people out, and this person just didn't make the cut, and that's not your fault, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. And if they want to do some growing up and revisiting in the future, then fucking grow up. You know what I mean? Like, that's not your responsibility. Cooperation, lead with love. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like the watery is a message of maybe you've been cutting people out a little too callously, and it's just telling you like don't attack people who want what's best for you in an act of self-preservation. You know what I mean? Which it can be hard to, you know, when you're in a, I don't want to use the word paranoid, but when you're in like one of those states where you're just like F everybody and like I'm gonna come out on top, which, you know, sometimes we need that energy, but sometimes it can be difficult to differentiate between who's like actually there for you and who's not. So you might be coming off a little too cold. You don't want to like burn your bridges with anyone who could be, you know, helpful to you in the future, and you don't want to hurt anyone either, right? You're not out to hurt other people. That's not good for anyone. That's shitty. I'm sorry, it's just like, I don't know, like, I guess the message is like, I don't know, I feel like our purpose, and I don't want to start preaching here, but it's kind of like to leave the world a little less effed up than when you entered it. And if you're just gonna come in and like be rude to people, like that's not the message here. Basically just clarifying, like, yes, you can cut people out. Yes, you don't have to worry about their feelings, but you don't have to be mean about it either. And especially with the shadow here, like, some of you might be like lashing out, like being mean. And it's just like, address that and lead with love. Like, you can basically protect yourself without hurting other people, if that makes any sense. Alrighty, let's move on. Believe, strange encounters, interesting. It's always tea time, eternity, endless moments, repetition. Yeah, okay. And then we have never jam today. Promises that'll never come to be again. Empty words, not living in the now. Okay. Yeah. And a lot of you have like, I don't know, promises for the future from this person, and it's just like, it's not coming to be. Like, all talk, no action. So just know that about this specific person. It's always tea time. Reminds me, it says eternity, endless moments, repetition. So that feels like, again, like if this person does mature, it's not like you've burned your bridge with them, right? It's not like you've said F you. Like, you can always come back around once this person matures in the future. Not like, oh, I say I'm gonna do better and it's been 3 months, so give me another chance. Like, no, like, you have some serious growing up to do, dude. And you also need to put up the boundary to like not interact with that other person. And it's not a burned bridge. It's not like you're cut out forever, right? Like, it can always come back around, but just right now is not the time. Believe, strange encounters. That one's interesting. I'm getting, I don't know, when I hear the word strange encounters, I think of like supernatural phenomenon, but I mean, if you guys are coming up with magician, high priestess energy, like maybe some of you have run into strange encounters. It makes me think of like, okay, so like there was this person my spirit guides didn't want me to be with, and so every time we would organize to hang out, something would happen. Either the car would stop working, or we would get to the restaurant and they were like closed randomly, right? Not to our knowledge. Or I don't know, like something would always come up. And then I had a friend who was telling me like one time they got into a car accident when they were supposed to see their ex, and then later on they were in their ex's apartment, and then like a curtain caught fire. Like something always goes wrong, and it's just like I feel like maybe your spirit guides have already been communicating to you like you need to cut this person out, and you've just kind of been like brushing it to the side, and they're telling you like, nope, that was us, you need to believe it, like you need to listen also. So yeah, that was a specific message, but I also don't feel like it was limited. I feel like that message was for a lot of you, because I feel like some of you might already be dabbling in magic, or if you don't dabble in magic, like your ancestors talk to you or something like that, like you're very good at listening to your spirit guides. Yeah, and that was just a message from them. So we have Sandpiper Spirit, which says be playful. Again, you don't have to be like mean about it. You can be kind of lighthearted. Just let people know like, hey, this is what I need right now. And I feel like people will understand. Watch and wait. Ooh, so I just feel like, yeah, okay. Don't freaking take them back. Even if it's been like half a year, I feel like don't take them back. Like literally watch and wait. Because I mean, I don't even think they'll last half a year if they're lying, but yeah, like there's like this, I forget what the saying is, but it's something like, you don't have to do anything, they'll destroy themselves, kind of. Like, you don't even have to, I don't know, you don't have to do anything. Like, this person will show you their true colors. Overcome any obstacle, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I just feel like you guys have been in kind of a slump right now. And that tower moment is really, like, cleaning out all the old crusty dusties. And yeah, they're just letting you know like you've got this. Very supportive team here. We have 11, okay. 8. So 118. Let's see what your message is. 118. Abundant love. Love abundantly surrounds you. Yeah, I feel like your spiritual team, your ancestors, like they're nearby, and they really care about you, and they're trying to protect you right now. And they're telling you to like watch this person. Don't just listen to what they say and take them back. You're being woken up to see the truth. Exactly. That love has always been around you and always will be. So for some of you, I feel like maybe this, because yeah, no, definitely, because they're represented by a heart. It's the King of Hearts. So like this person gave you love, and with the 6 of Cups in reverse, 2 Cups is emotions, love. And I feel like you cling on to that. Like maybe you haven't been shown love a lot in your life, or maybe this person showed you more love than you have ever been shown, and now you feel like, you feel bad about cutting that off, but love is all around you. It's not from this person, so you can cut that person out and like not, and still be loved. I don't know. And because you see this now, more love can arrive. Again, manifesting, right? The more you feel it, the more it'll, as above, so below kind of thing. Look for new love all around you, and be open to its presence in your life in any form it enters in. Yeah. So some of you might be putting different kinds of love on different pedestals. Like maybe your mother really, really loves you, but you're like, oh, that's not romantic love. So like whether consciously or unconsciously, like to you it means less to you. And again with the shadow, just like shadow self on like self-love, and do you love yourself, and do you look for love in other people, do you look for love in the wrong places? Just really like hashing out why you feel kind of codependent on this individual and why you feel that you have to take them back when you don't. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Pile number 3. Let me know. I also do other kinds of witchy type content if you're interested, so yeah, subscribe if you are. See you in the next one. Hello, pile number 1 with the little cacti. And sorry, pile number 4, my bad. And the Ace of Diamonds. Okay, you have the 8 of Swords. So you have walking away. We have the Ace of Wands. It can be like inspiration, passion, new starts. The 5 of Wands is arguments. The Sun in reverse, okay. We're not happy. Moon, okay. Little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, one more card. Thank you. Nope, that was 2 cards. Thank you, the Chariot. Okay. I feel like right off the bat you're being told to walk away. You feel like you're in a situation you can't get away from. You have a conflict with someone. I feel like there's a lot of this might be a breakup. It's probably a breakup. I don't know if someone just knocked. Hold on. Okay, this is definitely a breakup. Because we have the 3 of Hearts here as well, so it's like a romantic relationship. It could also indicate a third party, but I don't see that anywhere else, so I'm not going to bring that up unless there's more indicators of it, but I don't think there will be. And we have the 6 of Spades, which is like divorce. Oh my god. And like separation. Yeah. So I see a breakup. And a heavy breakup. It could have been an actual literal divorce. Yeah. I feel like maybe you and the other person were really fighting a lot. I don't know if you've walked away already or not, though. Because if you haven't, like, holy crap, walk away, because you're basically being told twice here, once here. You're being told all you do is fight. And then you have the Chariot, which is like, getting a move on. Yeah, I feel like maybe they used to bring you a lot of happiness. Especially, like, there's like this child here, right? So when I think of children, I think of the past. Maybe some of you literally have children with this person. I just feel like they're not making you happy anymore, and they might even be bringing you more fears, bringing you more insecurities. Yeah, maybe for some of you, like, divorce was a really big fear of yours, or like breaking up with this person that you thought you were gonna be with forever was like one of the worst things that could ever happen in your mind. And so now that it's like you're seeing the tail end of it, you're kind of like, maybe there's resistance there. But I mean, this already looks like it's done with. Like, oh my gosh, the song that just came into my head, I think it's called Dead Horse by Hayley Williams, who's the singer of Paramore. You guys should look that song up because there are definitely messages there for you. But she's basically saying how, like, she keeps trying over and over with who is, you know, the man who is now her ex-husband. And she was, like, beating it like a dead horse, like, hoping to see a different result. And it just never turned out that way, unfortunately. Yeah, especially when it comes to divorces, you know, it's not like just breaking up with someone. It can be very difficult to admit when it's over. Especially because, you know, there's gonna be, like, you have to explain things to everyone. Some of you have to have talks with your children. Having the legal aspect of it, the financial aspect of it, it can be very expensive. I feel like some of you might be resisting for those reasons, but you're beating a dead horse. There's nothing more you can do. I feel like you guys have been fighting about the same things over and over again, and it's just, like, not being resolved. For some of you, you might have even gone to therapy and it's still not being resolved. So at the end of the day, you just kind of have to admit to yourself, like, it's not, you know, literally go listen to Dead Horse by Hayley Williams. I probably will after this. You have the chameleon spirit, act as if. Yeah. Okay, we have the flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between. Okay. We have the wolf spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. And we have the brown bear spirit, take time out. Yeah, I'll come back to the chameleon spirit, but the flamingo spirit is saying to embrace the in-between. Liminality. I feel like for a lot of you, you're scared of that, right? Like that, like, okay, you separate and now what? Like, you don't like the idea that things won't automatically be perfect for you right after. It feels more comfortable to just stick with what you know, but you're being encouraged to embrace that unknown. Yeah, I mean, it can be scary, but I mean, do you really want to stay in this relationship? Clearly you don't. It can't really be worse than that. I just feel like, yeah, with the Eight of Swords, it's like, you feel like you're stuck, but you're not. Like, that in-between space you're so scared of isn't really as scary as you think it is. Especially with the moon. The moon tends to distort our intuition. Your intuition is telling you, like, the moon card, not the moon itself, obviously. The moon is actually usually related to intuition, but here, I don't know, I feel like fear is very much associated with the moon card. And I feel like your intuition has already been telling you, if not your spirit guides, telling you, like, it's time to leave. It's kind of obvious, even maybe to people outside of this relationship at this point. For some of you, like, to your children, it's obvious that, like, this relationship is over, that you guys hate each other, but maybe not even necessarily hate, but just, like, you don't want to be in this relationship anymore, and you just have fears about it. But the moon distorts your intuition, so basically it's like, in your mind, it's way worse than it actually is. And you already know that you're not supposed to be here anymore, so it's just time to get a move on. Turn knowledge into wisdom again. Excuse me. So you already know that you're not supposed to be here, but you're just kind of, like, holding out, hoping that it won't. I don't know. Like, wisdom can only be gained through experience, right? Like, you can read a textbook all day long, but you can't really be wise on a subject until you've actually, like, gone out and experienced it. So they're telling you to turn what you already know is the case into experience, into wisdom, and hopefully you can help other people with that in the future. Obviously, I don't think right now you're in a position to be teaching anyone. I think you need to handle the situation first. And then the brown bear spirit is take time out. Yeah, I feel like you guys are just trying to make it work, or maybe you're not even trying to make it work anymore, but you're just kind of, like, staying together. And it's like, it's time to separate yourself from the situation. I'm gonna double check the meanings on the chameleon spirit, because I'm not sure if it's asking you to manifest your divorce. That'd be kind of silly. Well, I guess maybe it wouldn't be silly for some of you. Prepares you for the changes that will come and greatly benefit you. Your outer conditions are changing, and you're required to come into harmony with them so you can co-create your greatest dream. Are you feeling sensitive? Good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt your environment to the people, your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Yeah, so here we go. Even if you feel like you're in uncharted territory, flamingo spirit, this is still the chameleon spirit, by the way. I'm not reading for the flamingo spirit. Even if you feel like you're in uncharted territory, chameleon spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. Okay, so you do know that the chameleon spirit is known for adapting. I feel like you have fears that you won't adapt once you get into this in-between state, but they're letting you know that you can. And you will, again, with the Eight of Swords. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much... I literally read the message from the book, so I mean, I don't think there's much I can add to that. The Mist. The Hope. Alright, so there's hope there. The Mist, yeah, that's just like your brain feeling foggy. You're scared of the unknown. The Fly. I believe the Fly is about taking leaps of faith. Let me double check. Sorry, it's been a minute since I've read tarot cards, and some of the meanings have been lost on me, but I'm getting back into it. Also, the last two were like kind of heavy. This one's kind of heavy too. A divorce isn't fun, but yeah, okay, so the Mist is about making things clear. It says it's time to make it clear, and it's time to make a decision. So maybe some of you aren't broken up with this person, and at that point I'd be hella surprised, because I mean, it's so obvious in the cards that you don't want to be here anymore. But yeah, they're just telling you that it's time to be in that in-between state, even though it's scary. It's not as scary as it might seem. Yep, and then we have the Fly, which is a leap of faith. You're being tested, and you are favored at this time. Okay, yeah, so you're scared that like it's gonna kind of blow up in your face, it's gonna go wrong, but they're telling you that you have a lot of people on your side right now, both physically and spiritually. And I feel like a lot of your fears might be unwarranted, or maybe you just feel fear, but when people ask you like, what are you scared of, you're like, I don't know, like you just feel fear, and they're telling you like, you're safe, like we got you. Forget who you are, conditioning falls away, memory no longer defines you. Manage to be glad, create your own happiness. This card came up in every pile, what the hell? I'm sorry. Manage to be glad, create your own happiness regardless of conditions. Yeah, I mean, and then it's always tea time, eternity, endless moments, repetition. So with conditioning falls away and memory no longer defines you. Some of you might have bad memories with this person, especially if you're fighting, obviously, but I think in general, like maybe it's piled up over the years and now you're like, oh my god, like this person was actually kind of a shitty person. And and they just don't define you anymore. And conditioning falls away for some of you. I feel maybe for religious reasons or cultural reasons, whatever the situation might be, you feel like maybe you were told like, no, like divorce is the worst thing you can do, or like you can't get divorced, and like there really wasn't a reason as to why or why not. It was just like taboo, and like that conditioning is falling away. Maybe this individual conditioned you to be a certain way. It says forget who you are, but I think some of you forgot who you were. Like you became a different person in this relationship, and now it's just kind of like falling away. And it's time, you know, to reclaim that independence and stuff. We have managed to be glad, create your own happiness regardless of conditions. Yeah, and I just feel like you guys will have such ease creating your happiness too. Like I get a vibe that like even if you're on your own, like I don't see you feeling lonely, I don't see you being sad. I feel like you'll do a very good job of like creating happiness for yourself in a way that this person never could. And then it's always tea time, eternity, endless moments, repetition. So that one reminds me of like a chance coming back around again. So for some of you, you might feel like, especially when it comes to divorce, some of you might be feeling like, oh, I'm too old to get back into the dating game or whatever. But that's just not true. Like I just feel like it's gonna come back around again. I also got this message of like maybe your children favor you, even if they won't say it out loud, right? Like parents will never pick their favorite, and the same with like kids, they won't pick their favorite. But I feel like maybe your kids favor you if you do have any. Yeah, it'll come back around again. I don't feel like, for those of you who feel like it's over, especially when it comes to religious or cultural reasons, like a lot of people might feel like, specifically women, there's a lot of cultures and there's some religions where like once you get divorced, that like brands you, right? Like, oh, that's a used woman or whatever, or that's fucking terrible. I'm sorry that your culture is trying to brand you that way if that's the case. But they're just letting you know. And some of you, even if your culture isn't blatantly saying that, maybe you just feel it, like, oh, that's like a used woman. Like there's just so many like freaking Christian like abstinence promoting things, and I'm not attacking Christians right now, but a lot of them compare women who have premarital sex to used pieces of gum. So it's like, okay, well, what if a woman waits until she gets married and then she gets divorced? Like, she would still, in your mind, be a used piece of gum, right? Like, just because it happened during marriage. I don't know, whatever. It's neither here nor there. I'm not attacking any groups in specific, even though I did mention Christians. I'm not attacking Christians. But yeah, just like really reflect on like what you truly believe and what's being put on you, because those beliefs are not yours and they are not true, and it'll just come back around to you. Even if the people around you are saying that it won't, that's not true. Yeah, let me do one last thing. You got a 4, a 5, and an 8. So we have 458. In person, it's time for human-to-human connection. Your angels want you to work on your interpersonal skills. Human-to-human connection is necessary in your life presently. Make a plan to meet with a friend, attend that happy hour you've been dodging, or get to your book club this week in person. Yeah, so some of you might have been avoiding people. You're like, I don't want to talk about this. You know that if you go to a setting where you meet with people, people are going to be like, well, how's the marriage? You know, like, oh, well, how are you doing? And you're like, I don't want to talk to people. But I feel like for a lot of you, it'll just be very therapeutic to talk about it. Or even, you know, if you don't want to talk about it, you can just be like, everything's going good. You can lie and like still enjoy your time there. I feel like they want you to get out more. And I feel like when you do that, you'll feel more loved, and you'll see that, you know, it's part of creating your own happiness. Like, your happiness isn't based in this relationship. It's not based in this marriage. It's all around you. And, yeah, wow. Okay, that got deep. I hope that was helpful to you. I make other kinds of witchy content if you're interested in that. Check it out. Yeah. See you in the next one.